Hello guys, and welcome to this exciting Cinema 4D tutorial. Thank you again for watching this tutorial. And in this tutorial we'll be learning to create something very interesting. So let me just show you what's it going to be. Now we're going to be creating this thing right here in Cinema 4D. So let's just check it out. Now that came as a result of this time lapse by My Motion Graphics. I will put a link in the description for that. Now here what he does is he models the complete car, does some lighting, texturing, and then post-production, After Effects, color correction. Now when I went through the video, I was not able to completely follow the modeling of the car which he made. So what I did is I went to here Pixel Lab and downloaded this model of the car, and then I used the materials which he uses in the video and applied that to this model right over there. So basically I removed all the materials from here and come on, play. Yeah, and then I put the materials which he uses onto that car, and also I did a basic lighting setup. So basically this part is a two-part tutorial. So where the first part is going to be modeling the car, texturing, lighting the scene completely in Cinema 4D with the turntable and also the camera movement, and the second part will be the post-production, After Effects, color correction. So that is how it's going to be. So without any further delay, let's get started off. So here I am in Cinema 4D, and the first thing I always do, change the render settings to HD 1280 by 720 and hit OK. And then let's start making the turntable first. So for that, first we're going to go create a cylinder, and I'm going to set the radius to 350 with the rotation segments of 18, and let's bring down the height. To say around 30. Height will be 20 centimeters, and I'm just going to go and put in a floor. And once we have the cylinder, let's just bring that up so that it's almost touching the floor there. Okay, then I'm going to go change my display to Gura shading line so that I can see the segments over there. Okay. Then once we have that, I'm going to duplicate the cylinder, and I'm going to set the radius to 300, actually to around 310, and I'm just going to bring this up as well. Or actually no, let me delete the cylinder. I'm going to hit C on the keyboard to make it editable, and I'm going to go here to the front view, and I'm going to go choose the rectangular selection tool and go to the polygonal selection tool. Make sure only check visible select elements is off. I'm going to drag the top points. I'm going to press T on the keyboard, and I'm going to drag them in around there. So that's perfect. And then let me duplicate the cylinder. I'm going to bring this up. Okay, let's do it here. And this needs to be almost touching it, and I'm going to press T, and I'm going to scale it down somewhere over there. Looks good. Bring this down, and okay, so here is something like what we get. I think this slanting is too much, so let me just change that. So I'm going to delete this once again, and I'm going to take this, and press T and scale it out a little bit out, not completely in. Take this, select the whole thing, move it up, press T, and bring it in around there. Let's go here and see what we get. And this looks pretty good. or we can actually take this cylinder, take these points and move these up a bit, and take this complete thing and move this up. Okay, so we get a nice turntable, right? Okay, now let me just import the car, and so I just imported the car from my original model, and just resized it, and I'm just gonna place it right over there. And I'm gonna take all these materials and delete them. Make sure you do not delete the selection tags, the polygonal tag that comes with the model, because some of them will be properly assigned to the polygons to which we would like to apply these materials. So let me just start off the texturing. So let's start with the floor. So for the floor, let me delete all these materials and let's make a new material, and I'm going to call this floor. And for this material, I'm just going to change the color over here to 160, 160, 160, and take this and drop it on the floor. Let's bring the floor down. And before we go ahead, I forgot to do one more thing, which is to make the edges, the holdings on the edge. So let me make that. So let me grab a cube for that, and I'm going to put the settings, the size of this to be 20 for the X, 100 for the Y, and 105 for the Z, with a fillet radius of 3 and a fillet subdivision of 1. And I'm going to duplicate this cube and change the settings of that to 35, 70, and 55. Okay, and let me take a MoGraph cloner, drop one of the cubes into the cloner, and I'm going to set this to a radial, and let's just increase the radius of this, and the plane will be XZ, and let me just increase that out so we have it just touching right over there. I'm going to set the count to 18, the radius to 352, or I mean that would depend on the size of the turntable you use, and then the let me see, yes, the transform the P rotation to minus 55 degrees. So that was what we kind of get. Okay, actually let's make this 352 itself. So basically we want this to be touching the corners over here. I mean the go away from the edge, something like that. And let me just duplicate this cloner and drop this cube inside the cloner, and let me just delete that. Oh, so yes, we have a mistake. Yeah, so this cloner, which is the big one, gets a radius of 352, or actually pretty much more than 352, somewhere like that. And I'm going to take this and set the the Y position to minus 20. Okay, and let me just go and set this to 352. Great. And let me take this and bring this down to around minus 10. Let's bring that down to minus 20 itself, and let's see if we want to do any changes to this. Let's just bring this a little bit more in, and I'm going to set the position of the smaller cubes to minus 15 on the Y. Great. And we're going to take both these cloners, go to the top view, and we want to align them exactly on the edges. So let's go to the H rotation and set that to minus 10, which makes it look something like this, and really cool. Let me remove the ground shading lines and see what we have over there. And for everything, let's take all the font tags and delete the font tags, so we have a good sharp edges, because it's a low poly concept, and delete the font tags on the cubes as well. So I'm just gonna name this turntable cube big and turntable cube small, and this is going to be the car, and this is going to be top turntable, and this is going to be bottom turntable, and that is going to be the floor. Now let's make a new material for our stand. So let me just take this and name it stand. I'm going to set the color of this to 165, 165, and 165, and just remove the specular, and that's it for the stand. So let me just drop it on the bottom turntable, on the top turntable. Okay, now we got to stop and the cubes as well. So cubes. Okay, once we've done that, let me just take this car and put it on the top. We're gonna make a new material and call this a body. And I'm gonna set the color of this to 240, 105, and this will be 0. Let's set that to 20, and the reflection, we will set that to 40 without a floral texture, and we're going to take it and we're going to drop it on the body of the car. So now we see that all our the whole car is in this color, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and drop it on the front. Now I have chosen some of the tags which I will be using in this tutorial, and which I had deleted from all the polygonal selection tags that was there with the car. So let me just go one by one and make the materials accordingly and apply them. So now this one says Windows, which I had named. So if I go to the polygon selection tool and double click, we see we have selected all these windows, right? The back and front windows. So I'm going to make a black material for that, and let me go here and type as Windows. In the color channel, I'm going to set that to something pretty low, so something around 5. The reflection will be 30, and the specular will be 45 for the width and 15 for the height. And I'm going to take this and drop it on the car, and when I drop it on the car, I'm going to go here, bring this out front, and drop this polygonal tag over here. So now we have this black material applied, and you can actually see the specular hits right now because of the default lighting of Cinema 4D, and we're done with the windows. So the next one, let me just put this in the middle so we know that it's done. The next one is the borders. Now borders is this. Now frankly, I don't know why I have that, so let me just delete that because that comes with the entire car. And then we have the headlights. Okay, so we have headlights over here. So we select this part and this part. So for the headlights, let's make a new material and name this headlights. And one more thing I'm saying is you guys can use any of the the same materials for any car you want, even for say a high poly Lamborghini or Mercedes or any car. But because this tutorial was for a low poly car, I'm just using a low poly car. So here in the headlights, I am going to turn on the luminance channel and remove the color and the specular channel, and that's it. And we're going to take it, drop it on the car, take this, drag this over here, and drop the selection tag over here. So now we have the headlights. Now, a big heads up to everybody, please make the headlights white with the luminance channel, because in After Effects we will be adding some glow to this headlights to make it more realistic looking. Okay, and we have here is a polygonal selection 6, which is let me see. Okay, this front part of the car here, I just made it, I wanted to add a different color to differentiate it. So let me just name this to headlight center. Okay, and make a new material. Actually, let me see if I need a new material. Yes, I will be need a new material. So I'm just going to name this material black because I'm going to go to the luminance channel, turn off the color and the specular, and I'm going to turn the luminance down to 0 and drop it on the car again. And let's bring this front, drop the selection tag. So we have that there. Next, let's see what we have. We have the headlights too. So the headlights too, there are some headlights over here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another headlight material, drop it over there, put it on that, oops, put that over there, and drop the selection tag here. So we have the headlight material applied here as well. Let's take the next polygonal selection tag as we have this. So it says polygonal selection 2, but whatever it is, I'm just going to take this black material, apply it on the car, bring that front, and drop this polygonal selection tag over here. Then next we have the tail lights. So for the tail lights, I'm going to go and make a new material, and I'm going to call it tail lights. And I'm going to go to the color channel and set that to a pure red. And I'm going to remove the specular, and I'm going to take it and let me see, drop it on the car, and as usual, take it, bring it forward, drop the selection tag, and let's go to the tail lights, and let me just show you the tail lights. It is this one here for this model. So that's that. Okay, let me zoom out a bit and get us positioned. Okay, then next we have this one, which is the exhaust pipes. So the exhaust pipe here is this part. So usually the exhaust pipes of the cars will be at the back, but we have it here. So let me just make a new material for that, and let's call this exhaust pipes. In the exhaust pipes, I'm just going to go to the reflection channel and set it to 50%, and that's it. So let me take this, drop it on the car, let's bring it forward, put the selection tag, and we are done. Next one is we have the wheels. So as you can see here, we have the wheels selected over here. Okay, and let's make a new material for that. Let's call this wheels. I'm going to set the color to a black, so somewhere around there, with a specular where the width is 40 and the height is 20. And let me just take these wheels and drop it on the car, and take it, bring it over here, drop in the selection tag, and boom, we have our wheels material. So the next one is the headlights case, which is that, and I don't know if any material should be applied there. Let me just check. I think it's better if we take this black material, drop it on the car, and drag this polygonal selection tag there. It gives it a good differentiation from the orange color. And the last one is, let me see, this part over there. So this was just an adjustment that I had made to the piece over here, which is basically flat. But since in the original video by My Motion Graphics, he had a bumper part over here with some part of black applied to it, I just made one. And let me just take this black, oops, and drop it on this polygonal selection tag, and there we go. We have successfully textured our car. Now let's get on with the camera animation before we start off the lighting part. So let's grab a new camera and let's look into the camera. So we will need a few things. Actually, let me delete this camera and let me choose a target camera and a circle spline with the orientation of XZ. Look into the camera, and we want to right click on the camera, choose Cinema 4D tags, align to spline, and we want to take the circle spline and put it on the camera. So now it looks completely screwed up now. So I'm going to put some settings which is going to make it look very good. So the radius of the circle is going to be 1030, and we're going to go to the coordinates and set that to around 300. Okay, and then let's take the camera target. In the Y position, I'm going to set that to around 32. Let's set that to 35, And now in the circle over here, I'm going to set the height, the H rotation to minus 128. Now what we want to do is we're going to set the frames per second to, sorry, the number of frames to 600. And we want to make a full 360-degree looping rotation. So the first frame, I'm going to control click to make a keyframe. I'm going to go to the last frame and I'm going to add plus 360 degrees. So plus 360 degrees will give us 232. So let me make a keyframe over here. So now if we scrub back, we can see that the car, this camera is rotating, showing us the car, showing us the back of the car, this beautiful tail light that's there, and the windows, the nice glossy, and the car completely slowly comes to an end and starts off again. But that's not what we want. We want a linear rotation. So I'm going to go to the circle, right click, choose F curves, and in the rotation I'm going to press Ctrl A to select the whole length, the whole curve, and I'm going to click on this button to linearize it. So now what we happen is it starts off at a constant speed and ends at a constant speed. And as you can see here, once this ends and once it starts, we don't see any jagged slow motion or fast moving rotation of the camera, if you know what I mean. So here end and it starts off normally. So that was what we are looking for. Right, so once we've done that, we can start off with the lighting. So I'm going to be using a lot of third-party lighting systems. So the first one is going to be the HDRI Studio Pack by Grayscale Gorilla, also the Lightkit Pro by Grayscale Gorilla, and also My Motion Graphics Illuminati. So first of all, let me go and start off with the HDRI. So HDRI Studio Pack, let's choose the HDRI Studio Rig, and I'm going to choose a preset. I'm going to go to Studios and choose Basic Studio 3, and I'm going to take that and drop it right over there. Now let me see if we can make any changes. Okay, so here is the I don't know if you can see the reflection over here, but if I put the interactive render region around there and increase that, and if I put a different studio HDR, we can see the changes happening immediately. See, you see the changes. Let me put another one, and let's look at the changes, and immediately boom, we can see more changes. Stop soft light studio, drop that in. Let's see, we can do a lot of changes. So I just made a lot of experimenting, and for me I thought Basic Studio 3 fit really well. So let me just drop that on, and let's close this, and I'm going to take this and remove the interactive render region. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to go to the content browser and go and choose the Lightkit Pro. And in the Lightkit Pro, I'm going to choose a softbox, and here in the softbox, I'm just going to move that around. Let's get away from the camera and let's zoom out back, and let me see where we want to place it. The X and the Y rotation values will be as minus 35 for the X and 70 for the Y. So we are going to be looking at that like that, and I mean, you can place it anywhere you want, but that's not a problem. And I'm going to set the distance, the distance to 1,000, so that's pretty far. And also I'm going to take the width and the height and set that to 600 by 600. And once that is done, I'm going to duplicate the softbox, and I'm going to set the rotation values for that as 132 and 113. So one is at the back and one is at the front, make it look pretty good. So once that is done, let me just select these two and come down here and choose uncheck scene by camera, and let's hide this from the editor as well so that we do not see it. Last up, let's go and take the Illuminati. It is a free 3D. It's a free add-on that my motion graphic gives. So let's drop on the Illuminati. That looks brilliant with a lot of cool stuff. And in the Illuminati, I'm going to set the intensity to 35, the outer angle to 80, not 8. And I'm going to take this color and drag it somewhere over here. I'm going to change the color of this to around 50 by 50, 60 RGB values. And this is going to be the same color that was there. And those are the only changes I'm going to make. Now, one thing we want to change about this complete Illuminati is we're going to have this object which it throws out the light from be different. So how Illuminati works is a complete new amazing concept which is shown in one of the videos by my motion graphics, so you can check it out in his channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a sphere, and I'm going to bring out the sphere, and I'm going to bring down this segment. Once the radius set to 914, I'm going to set the segments to 16, and I've changed it to a hemisphere over here. And once we've done that, I'm going to go and make it editable. I'm going to set the Y size to 445. So we have something like that, pretty much. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the Illuminati, and I'm going to click on the traffic light for this, and I'm going to drag the sphere into the object. And then we want to take the Illuminati and move that completely up to around 300. Not 300, let's say somewhere around 500. And that's looking pretty good. Now let's look back into the camera, and let's make a, let's put that to 600. And let me just make a quick render and see what we get. So this is pretty much the render that you will get after making the render with these current settings. Now you can scrub through the timeline and place it wherever you want. It'll look pretty much the same and pretty darn cool. So this is the first part of the tutorial, guys, and thank you very much for watching this tutorial. And I hope to see you in part 2, where we're going to render out the scene. Actually, you know what? Let's do the rendering part over here. So I'm going to set the anti-aliasing over here to best. The output will be all frames. Save without an alpha channel wherever you want. And the best part is you don't need ambient occlusion or global illumination, because we have Illuminati present, which is giving us amazing render. So let's close this, and thanks again for watching this tutorial, and I hope to see you in the next part, where we'll be doing color correction to this entire render in After Effects. So see you.